studios in the heart of First Methodist Church in Waco, Texas. This is Faith in Real Life and your hosts, Louisa, Catherine, and Cade.
Welcome to Faith in Real Life. My name is Catherine, and I'm here with Louisa and Cade. So to start today, I wanted to ask everybody, how's Lent been going for you? Who wants to start?
I'm going to let you have that one, Cade.
It's been going okay. It's been a while since I've got to talk to my friends at school with our Bible reading, but it's been going pretty good.
Okay. I've been trying my best, but Lent is very, very hard. It's not easy.
Okay, so I have a question. What does Lent mean for the two of you? Like, what do you categorize Lent as? Whoa.
For me, it's giving up something that you do to focus more on God.
What is it to you, Cade?
It, like she said, just a time period of 40 days where you give up something for Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So what spiritual discipline is everybody practicing?
I decided to cut out all music that's not like Christian music, so nothing that everything that puts truth in my ears I can listen to.
How has that been going?
Okay, I've been trying my best.
There's always the okay.
It's not easy, I have to admit. I have broken my fast maybe once or twice. But honestly, every time I get back on track, I just feel better. So. And
what spiritual discipline did you do?
Me and a group of boys at school started reading 10 chapters of the Bible a day.
Dang. How has that been going?
It's been going okay. It's difficult for sure, especially on days when I get home late and everybody's just tired. But, I mean, it's been going decently okay.
Yeah. As we were sharing earlier, I gave up sweets, and I don't know if that has technically been going well. So I will share. Yesterday was I gave a lapse, but if you didn't know, every Sunday you can take a break from your fast if you choose to. Some people don't.
The rest day.
Shabbat, the rest day. Some people do. Some people don't. I have been using them throughout the week because sometimes there's special occasions, like for spring break, me and my family went somewhere fun. So I decided that I was going to use some of those days and that I could use them then because, I mean, we're in somewhere I haven't been before and I think it would be really fun, you know?
Yeah.
And, but then anyways, I kind of did break my fast yesterday, so today I've decided I am not going to take my rest day on the Sunday like I normally would, so I'm gonna go full out no sweets today. Do either of y'all feel closer to God because you gave up those things?
Yeah, I do. I did this same fast last year, and I noticed last year how much like happier I felt, like how much more joyful, because it may seem like not a huge thing, but I think what you actively like put into your brain and into your body does like deeply affect you. So yeah, I do feel a lot closer to God these days. Yeah.
Cade, what has your practice for Lent done for you?
It's just changed my life a whole lot more. It's gotten me closer to my friends and closer to my faith, and found that time of day where normally I would spend my time doing other things, but now I can spend time reading the Bible instead.
Did it at first, I do have a question, did it at first feel like it was a bother or something that was like, I have to go for Cade, I have to read the 10 chapters now, or Louisa, I can't listen to the music I normally would? Was that like, was that a thought in your head?
Yeah. The first, like, it's weird because, like, the first week you're like, oh, okay, I can do this, you know, I'll be fine. And then you, like, start getting into it. And music, I love music. It's a big part of my life. I like listening to music, writing music, all that kind of stuff. So not being able to, like, listen to my favorite artist can be really hard. But I do have a bunch of Christian artists that I listen to. And so, yeah, it can be hard, like, the first couple weeks, but once you get into it, you notice the changes, and it feels really good.
Is that the same for you?
Yeah, kind of. It just is difficult in those first couple of days of Lent, finding time like, okay, do I want to do this in the morning in a free period at school or at home when I get home, where it's just kind of difficult to find that time during the day to do it.
So moving on to a different topic, who out of the three of us has some type of social media? That can be like YouTube to TikTok and stuff like that. Who has social media?
I don't have, like, an account, but I do have, like, YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't post stuff.
That's what I do.
Okay. So do you feel like limiting social media, have you limited your social media?
No.
Do you feel like whenever you do limit your social media or your time on your phone, do you feel like it helps your faith, like, grow? Do you feel like that helps you?
Yeah, like at Revive when they took away our phones, you know, for the whole week, and that felt like you weren't stressed almost. Did you get that?
There wasn't any, like, you know, you don't know it, but there's always that thing in the back of your mind that's like, check your phone, check your phone. And you didn't have to worry about that. It was just like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Or, oh, look, I can pull out my book and I can read. Like, not pull out my phone and sit on my phone and watch YouTube. That was kind of like a big...
Yeah. So I think that, like, is an example of, that helps.
What does social media give us, like, emotionally? What does it do?
I don't know.
I feel like it fills our life with stuff other than faith, like stuff that's out in the world.
Yeah, even if it's stuff that is about faith, I feel like there's still that barrier. So why is it so hard to stop scrolling? Like let's say YouTube Shorts. It's always hard to put your phone down because you just sit there and you're just scrolling. And why is it so hard to tell yourself not one more minute, but put it down now? Like, why is it so hard to tell yourself that?
I think because we're so, like...
caught up in it.
Yeah, we're so used to it. Like, that's just the way the world is now. I think it's in Romans where it says, like, do not let yourself be conformed to the image of the world. And I think a lot of people have, you know? Like, you just sit on your phone and you scroll and you keep doing that, and it's fine because that's what everyone else does, you know?
It's like Jesus never said being a Christian was going to be easy. He was like, you're going to have to give things up for me. And I heard it as a different way one time. Somebody said, I think it was, to be a Christian, you can't be, like, normal. You're always the weird kid. Even if you're, like, go in the popular Christian group, you're still, in today's society, considered weird because you don't do things. You don't sit on your phone all the time. You actually open up a book. You read the Bible. A lot of people don't enjoy reading as much as like a lot of people did because we sit on our phones now. And so to actually open up a book and actually read and take notes and actually take what it is, and then you don't go out and you don't say things rude. You actually treat somebody the way they would want to be treated or you would want to be treated. Like, it's a lot different. Do you think social media changes how we may see ourselves?
Yes. 100%, definitely.
Like I said, I think it fills our lives with just different stuff, and we want to look at ourselves that way rather than who we actually are.
Or, like, I think, especially for, like, girls, if you ask me, I think some of the stuff they put out there, it's, like, gently, like, telling you you're not good enough. So it'll, like, be, like, tricks to make yourself skinnier. And so it's saying, it's not, like, explicitly saying, oh, you know, you're fat and ugly, but also it's not saying that.
Because they always use those edited photos, you know?
Yeah.
And just for everyone who's watching, most of the photos on social media are edited. Some of them are actually real, but some of them people take and edit them, and then they use them on the tricks to like ab workouts to make your like stomach area skinnier, your torso skinnier, and it's just like that shows up on a lot of people's feeds, and then you're like, oh wait, do I actually need to do that? You look at yourself in the mirror and compare yourself to the image. A deep question: are you hard on yourself when you mess up?
Yes. Yeah.
In what ways? Because certain people shut down whenever they mess up. In what ways do y'all shut down?
I think for me, I internalize criticism a lot. So like I'm a really sensitive person actually. So like if someone gives me a negative comment, even if they're not trying to be mean, I'll still take it to heart and I'll try and use that to like fix myself. Mm-hmm. So I think like you said about like what way do you
like
what did you say?
In what way do you like shut down on yourself?
I just get in my head and let it get to me, I think.
Okay, do you have a way you shut down on yourself?
Kind of, yeah. I'll just get mad and then go lay in my bed at the house and I feel different. I don't know how to explain it. It just, life doesn't feel normal like it did.
I think, relating it back to kind of God, I feel like whenever you're down on yourself, you stop listening to what God wants you to know. Because, he tells you all the time in the Bible, you're made in my image, and my image is perfect, so that makes you perfect. You just live in a sinful world, and you let yourself be conformed by that world, and you just have to work at yourself to become part of my image again. But I feel like, wait, where was my train of thought going? I just realized I lost my train of thought.
This is why we're not live.
So, like, okay, got it. Whenever you, like Cade said, you don't feel normal, it's because there's like that absence of God, and that's not for a Christian who the three of us dives into the Word, keeps praying and stuff. It feels really abnormal whenever God's not in your heart and you kind of shut him out. I feel like whenever we start doubting on ourselves, we don't listen to God. We only listen to what the world wants us to know. We listen to the devil, and we don't listen to the right side of things. Okay.
Sorry.
What does real spiritual growth look like? Whoa.
Spiritual growth, I feel like it just means growing in your faith, like realizing that I don't come to church to hang out with friends or to do stuff like that. It's more so I come to church to read my Bible, to learn, listen to scripture, sing in worship, just more so of being present in the moment rather than what the world fills our minds.
Yeah. So y'all were here in worship. Y'all were here during the service, right?
No. ACT-ION.
Action. But so at the end of our service, our worship leader brought up something about how people who may seem like they're fine are fighting a battle, wanting to burn bridges, wanting to stop doing things that make them happy. And for the two of y'all, have y'all ever felt that way?
I mean, I feel like sometimes, you want to put on a show for everybody to make yourself seem all right when really everything isn't all right.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you mean by that?
Like, you're going through a battle, and I mean, because, like, I've known people that seem like they're fine, and then I get to know them, and they tell me that they're struggling with something, and it's like I would have never guessed. Mm-hmm. Have you been somewhere where you have known somebody that would do that, or have you been there yourself?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely been there myself. I think last year, 2025, was just a hard year for me. I went through a lot of loss. And I still had to, make sure my grades were fine, make sure, everyone else that was around me was fine or doing well. Or at least that's what I felt like I had to do. So I kind of like put these walls up so that no one would know that I was actually really struggling.
Yeah. What does it mean to put on like a new self?
Like,
You got it, Louise.
you threw him
cold,
under the
Kane.
bus one time.
like, do you mean like by putting on armor, you think? Like,
Let's maybe putting on armor. Okay, does somebody want to do putting on armor and the other person to do like putting on a mask? Which one?
I'll do putting on a mask.
Do you want to do putting on armor? Like
Sure.
God's armor? Okay. He's like, whatever.
So putting on a mask to me, as someone who's like definitely done that before, it looks like pretending you're fine when you're not, just so that people will think better of you, or at least that's how it was for me. And pretending to be fine so that nobody worries about you because you don't feel like you're good enough to worry about, or at least that's what it's like for me.
Yeah.
I found the scripture for putting on an armor of God to lead you into your thing. It's Ephesians 6:10. It said, "A final word, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you might be able to stand firm against the strategies of the devil." And that's like a really big thing, is like God gives you an armor to put on to protect yourself from the world, to protect yourself from the blows that people will send at you, you know? So what does it look like to put on the armor of God?
To me, putting on the armor of God just means to be present in the moment like he wants you to be, rather than being present with what the world wants you to be. So, like, for example, putting on the armor of God means, like, during moment of silence and announcements in the morning at school, you know, pray if you need to pray rather than just sitting there quiet, just kind of wandering in space. You know, do what you need to do to be present with God rather than being present with the world.
So y'all have heard of sanctification, right? It's a big word. Might be hard for some people to say. I know I struggled with it. But what is sanctification?
Being sanctified?
Yeah, I have a little lapse on that. It's something that comes up a lot. And I know,
And
like,
people just assume you know it.
yeah. It's kind of, if you're a Christian, but it's hard to know. Do y'all have like a little idea of what it is?
I think it's like God shaping us, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it says, but the lessons that we've been learning in youth the past few weeks about how the world, I have it in my notebook, 1 second. But you know the things that we've been learning about these past few weeks, about how the world forms you and about how God forms you and stuff. Let's see if I can find it.
I believe in you,
Okay.
Catherine.
Spiritual formation and spiritual deformation. Okay, so spiritual formation. That's what I thought of whenever sanctification like came in my mind. You know, was spiritual formation. The Holy Spirit works to make you look like Jesus, and it's something that you have to accept in your heart. You can't just it's not just something that happens. You have to wake up in the morning and say, God, show me what it means to have you shape me today. And then spiritual deformation is the world's quiet work to make you look like the world. And it's something that you don't see. And I think one of the biggest things, like, you gave up any music other than Christian music. I think one of the big things that in the world is there's so much music that you don't know it, but it's not Christian.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much music. And some music, I think, even is kind of praising the devil. And it's kind of like putting his little lies in your head and stuff. And I know I have a lot of friends that don't listen to Christian music often, but they kind of are, do, depressing music, you know? Because they're depressed.
Yeah,
And I'm
but,
Yeah.
Listening to depressing music does not help your depression. Word to the depressed. Listening to music like I don't know. I can't think of any depressing music.
I don't know. Like somber's a little. He's a little sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in the name.
Somber, but I know there's a few songs. I'm trying to think. I've listened to them. I think like Sidelines by Phoebe Bridges. I don't know. I don't know which one because I don't listen to her a lot. But let's see.
Or like just generally sad music does not help your depression.
A lot of the big name people now make sad music.
Yeah.
I don't like to say that because a lot of them
they make what the public wants to hear.
Yeah.
Which is basically what.
Yeah.
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 Which is not good, by the way.
Getting back on track, what should someone do if a person, family, friend, coworker for adults, peer in the classroom gets upset about your faith? What should you do?
Turn the other cheek? I don't know.
That was a good one. Kate, what do you have to say on that?
I remember one day in youth we talked about something like this, and I remember my answer very specifically because Maud flipped out about my answer when he said something about if somebody says you need to stop doing that or whatever, tell them, why do I need to stop when you need to start?
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
Everybody's I remember that. Yeah, that was like
iconic.
It was iconic. I remember Ahmad was like, "Oh, that was good," and he was like, voice crack, but that like it was really good, and everybody just kind of stopped and thought about like what that meant, what was the hidden meaning behind that.
Yeah.
And I think that that was a good comeback. But what would y'all say? You would obviously say that, but like obviously you already gave your answer. But Louisa, what would you say if somebody got upset?
I would probably ask them like, why are you upset? And though I probably know if I'm just gonna assume that like the reason they're upset is because they need to hear the truth, and hearing the truth makes them, realize that they need to hear it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like when you hear a song and it hits hard and you're like, oh, I needed to hear that today, kind of.
Or whenever somebody says something and it's maybe it's like something critical, like, and they say it to you and you kind of like get offensive, but then
because
you think
it's right.
Because then you think back and you're like, oh,
yeah,
wait,
yeah,
they were right, kind of thing. And I think that's why people sometimes get upset.
I think so.
Have y'all heard the story of Jesus whenever he was in the temple?
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple stories of Jesus in the temple, but like, I mean, the one story whenever Jesus was 12 years old and he stayed behind, what happened in that story?
He like taught the Pharisees, right?
And yeah.
And they were mad because he was smarter than them.
Yeah, well, that, and who... I think it was he didn't tell his parents he was staying, right?
Oh, yeah, he didn't tell his parents, and they just left without him.
Yeah.
And then Mary got very upset, right?
Well, I mean, I would be too if I left my child.
What was the verse? So. It was Luke. It was Luke chapter 41, right? Okay.
Probably.
Okay, when Jesus was 12 years old, they attended a festival as usual. The celebration was over. They started home for Nazareth. When they couldn't find him, they went back to Jerusalem to search for him there. 3 days later, they finally discovered him in the temple, sitting among the religious teachers, listening to them and asking questions. His parents didn't know what to think. All who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. His parents didn't know what to think. "Son," his mother said to him, "why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been frantic, searching for you everywhere." But why did you need to search? He asked. Didn't you know that I must be in my Father's house? But they didn't understand what he meant. Then he returned to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. And his mother stored all these things in her heart. Jesus grew in wisdom and stature in favor of all the people. So what does Jesus teach us about humility in that passage? Like that little kind of snippet. What is Jesus saying about humility? Can somebody else say that word? Because that's a really
humility.
hard. Thank you.
I feel like he is just showing us, like I said earlier, don't be scared to teach or practice in your faith, It's not something to be scared about. It's something to be proud about,
Mm-hmm. And then I think that little, comeback he had, but why did you need to search, he asked. Didn't you know I was going to be in my Father's house? I think that was like...
If I said that, I think my parents would beat me.
But there would be a little bit of a excuse me kind of coming thing from my parents. But I think he's just kind of showing us that if we ever need him, look to the Father kind of thing. Because in my eyes, he's saying why did you need to search for me? You should have known where I was. You should have known I was with my Father. I was in my Father's house. I would always be there. This is the first place to check kind of thing. And I think that was really cool. Moving on to another topic. So what helps you stay grounded in your faith? What is it, one or two things that help you not wander away?
A routine practice.
What is that routine or practice?
Just kind of, praying before every meal, talking to God, like Luis said, swapping out what kind of music you listen to. Just kind of, there's multiple different ways you can start a routine of just being with God. But I feel like that's just the main thing, is staying consistent, because when you break that consistency is when you start to fall off the path.
Mm-hmm. I notice you and your family, no matter if you're there together or not, y'all always sit down and y'all pray. You'll pray before a meal. And that's kind of really opened my eyes to, no matter where we are or what we're doing, to stop and before we take in the thing that Jesus set before us to provide food for our human body, to stop and thank him and praise him. And that really hit me hard. Whenever I spent that time with your family, I was like, wait, I haven't been doing this. I need to do this.
I think it's just been so ingrained in me from such a young age, which is a good thing to do. It's second nature now,
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, we have a guest today, and her name is Abby, so let's welcome her.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Abby.
So we have a question for you, Abby. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What are things that you do whenever you mess up?
If I mess up on a test, I get really mad at myself, especially if I knew the answer to the question. And then if I mess up in my faith, then I go ask for forgiveness, and I still get kind of mad at myself.
Why is it that it's different whenever you mess up in your faith and whenever you mess up at school? Why is it different?
Because in my faith, I know I'm still learning, and in school, I've already learned the material that I need to know to take the test.
Okay. Now I have a second question. How do you deal with guilt?
A lot of the times when it's spiritual guilt, I'll pray, and then if it's just guilt in life, I kind of just pile it down, and then eventually it'll burst out, and I pray for it, and yeah.
Okay, that's deep.
A little bit.
A little bit, but so you said whenever you have the physical guilt, you finally let it out and you finally kind of let it go. Why is it that you don't immediately turn to God?
This is probably not the right thing to do, but most of the time when I don't immediately turn to God, it's because I don't think that it's like worthy enough for him to help figure out my problem, because I was like taught to figure out my problems and then ask for help. So if I'm still struggling with my problem, then at that point I would go ask for help.
Okay, I think that's something that everybody struggles with. I know I struggle with going to God and being, like, even telling him, like, the littlest thing is hard, to be like, hey, I kind of need your help. Because they always tell you, like, they always do these big prayers and stuff in church, and it's just kind of like, oh, so I need, whenever I ask for forgiveness, I need to have this big prayer. Is that why you don't go to God?
Yeah, most of the time. Because when I don't go to God, it's because I feel like the problem is too small. Even though it says in the Bible that there is no problem that's too small. So most of the time when I go to him, it's with something like really big and really burdening. I think that's the right word.
Burdening. I like that word. I'm going to ask both of y'all, how do y'all deal with y'all's guilt?
Kate, you got that?
Oh, wow.
Again. Kind of just the same thing that Abby said. Just let it pile up, and then there will be one day where, you know, that pile gets full, and you have to find something to do with it, and you just blow up and flip out, and you have to just kind of let it all go, and then just go on with your day or figure it out.
I think for me, I do like the same thing. I'll get really mad at myself, and then I'll just like store it up and bottle it up and bottle it up until I can't take it anymore. And then I go somewhere like quiet where I can cry. Usually actually
Valid, going somewhere quiet.
Valid.
To cry.
Yeah, usually actually at the church. Y'all can't find my hiding spot. And I'll just like blast my Christian music and put truth in my ears and just sit there and cry.
It's valid. Okay.
It's a great coping
that
mechanism.
sounds so good.
Honestly, highly recommend.
Oh, okay. So we want to close it out here, and we want to tell y'all that thank you, everyone, including Abby, for being real. Please, listeners, please keep growing. That the only way to go once you accept God is to grow up. So, and to go forward with your faith. And that doesn't necessarily mean go out in the public with it, but grow stronger. Go to him and ask him for help. We'll see you next time, and we hope to see you next time. And so that's it for all to today. That's all for today.
That's all for today.
See y'all next time.